Hey, what's up everybody, and today we are going to go over the weapons that I'm personally looking forward to in the 30th anniversary event. I've done this with the past 2 seasons, and normally I do the top 10 weapons I'm looking for. Today I'm just going to do the top 5 since we only got 10 weapons. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the roles, tell you what I'm looking for and why I'm looking for that specific role, and I may talk a little bit about some of the other weapons. We'll see. So anyways, let's just get into this video. And to start this list off, what better than to start with Iceluna, probably the most anticipated weapon of this mini DLC. Eyasluna is a stasis hand cannon. It's 140. It's a great archetype, and I'm looking for headstone specifically. Stasis crystals just got a buff in PvE by over 50% in damage, and I think also blast radius, if I'm not mistaken. So headstone's great, and it rolls rapid hit, which is another great perk based on precision hits. The magazine and the sights, I could take or leave no matter what it is for the most part. A range masterwork would be great. But yeah, Iceluna, it's very solid. I want headstone on it because of that headstone buff. And there's, of course, probably better roles for different situations, but I think headstone is a great perk, and this is probably the best weapon for it to roll on. Peace Bond is a 3-round burst sidearm. I mean, it's not hard to get precision kills with it, but it's not as easy as a 140 hand cannon. Volpeka oftentimes just doesn't have the damage to really use headstone, and I'm not gonna do ad clear with my Reed's Regret when it also rolls things like Firing Line and Vorpal. So Eyasluna, currently at least, is probably the best weapon to have headstone on it, and I would love to have a headstone Eyasluna. It only drops from the dungeon, so I'll have to wait until next week due to a bug with it, so I'm just hoping I get it. Next up, the other half. Now, if you don't know what the other half is, basically it's half of an energy sword, and it's a void sword. There's 2 of them. There's half truths and the other half. The other half, in my personal opinion, the better one. Comment down below which one you think is better. I'm part of the other half gang, so, you know. Basically, the reason why I think it's better is because you can get damage perks on it and Eager Edge. Eager Edge is really what you're looking for. Then you could slap on something like Whirlwind Blade, or you can have Surrounded, which I think is one of the highest damage buffs a sword can have currently since Vorpal got nerfed, which it also can roll in that right slot. Basically, it can roll damage perks when half troops can't. That's why I prefer the other half. It's an adaptive frame sword, but Eager Edge lets you sword skate really fast. So that's why I'm looking forward to getting that. And next up, number 3, we have the battle rifle, or the BXR-55 Battler. It's the battle rifle from Halo, and it's honestly amazing to use. I absolutely love it. There's a few different roles I would like to have on it. First, I want to talk about the unique perk it has, Blunt Execution Rounds. Basically, if you damage an enemy with a melee ability, you get bonus damage, and that's pretty good. Especially on a battle rifle that's meant to be hip fired, which leads into the next perk I want to talk about on it, Perpetual Motion. When you're in motion, you have more stability, handling. It's just better when you're in motion, and you move faster when hip firing than if you aim down sights. So you also slap on a freehand grip with it, and it's even better. Basically, you don't have recoil when you're hip firing unless they're really far out. You're gonna hit them. I just really love it. It stays on during PvE, but there's some other builds I want to talk about. It has one of the greatest perk combos in my opinion, Adrenaline Junkie Demo, especially after the Adrenaline Junkie buff. And there's another perk combo I would really enjoy having for PvP, being Snapshot Rangefinder. The one thing I don't like about the BXR is its scope in time. It takes so long to ADS, but Snapshot will fix that right up. It's not really its job to scope in, but it does have a pretty nice zoom scope. So if you need it for a longer range encounter, it's perfect for that. Anyways, next up we're going to be talking about the Wastelander. Now you may be asking why I picked Wastelander over Matador 64, and basically that just boils down to a couple things. One, the Wastelander is cooler. It's lever action, and that should be it, but there's more. Instead of the Matador being an aggressive frame like I thought it would be originally, it came back as a precision pellet shotgun instead of a precision slug, which those are actually good. I don't like precision pellet shotguns. Maybe they're better post-buff, but I'm just not a huge fan of them. But the Wastelander is a lightweight shotgun, so you run faster with it. It's a lot like Reese Walker. I don't think it can reach the ranges of Reese Walker, but does have some good damage perks like opening shot, slide shot, with accurized rounds and smoothbore. So it can reach pretty far for a shotgun in PvP, and that's what I would want it for. Plus, it's lever action, so it's automatically cooler. But yeah, that's about it for the Wastelander. And last up, with no particular order to this list, we have Pardon Our Dust, which is a new kinetic special breech-loaded grenade launcher. Basically, the reason I want this is to do boss damage special grenade launcher stuff. I have an ignition code, which is a great utility weapon, but I kind of want to Pardon Our Dust to handle some quick burst damage. It has auto-loading holster, something ignition code just doesn't have, which would be great to just pull out, shoot, and then swap to a heavy, shoot the heavy, and if the heavy also has auto-loading, you can just cycle them, hopefully, for it to work. But it also rolls Vorpal, which is still a 15% damage buff for primaries, or not primaries, for special weapons. Primaries, it did get buffed. Has spike grenades on it, and you can get hard launch to increase that velocity to deal a little bit more damage. And of course, a velocity masterwork would be beautiful. Quick access sling, even though it got reworked a little bit, it's still good for this. Or you could throw on a boss spec or a major spec, or yeah, just those two. So yeah, it's still good. I think quick access sling works fine for it. Those other perks could work really well too. I'm just thinking the speed at which you pull it up, shoot it, and put it away, but boss spec would work great too. Anyways, no particular order. That was my list. Retrace Path I was very interested in. A legendary trace rifle would have been great. It has subsistence, which is something I would love to have on it, or overflow, but it just wasn't that exciting seeing the perks on it. It has some cool perks, but it wasn't enough for me to say I need it. And 1000 Yard Stare, even though it was my favorite sniper in Destiny 1, I just don't snipe much in D2. I stopped playing I play a whole lot less Crucible than I did before Shadowkeep, and since Shadowkeep I just haven't felt comfortable sniping, so I just kind of stepped away from it, and I don't care about 1000 Yard Stare. So yeah, that's about it for the list. Why I picked some things and why I didn't pick others. So I want to know your thoughts down below. What are you looking for? What roles do you want on that weapon? And also, I do live stream from time to time, and I have a Discord server. We're planning on doing Jackbox or other games that we can do with a bunch of people with everyone in the server. So if you're interested in that, you should, look at the pinned comment down below, and I have a link to my Discord and my Twitter account if you want to follow that. But yeah, that's about it. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that. So see you next time. Thank you.